Yeah, let me just first acknowledge the level of anxiety and fear and trepidation that this administration has caused. You've never seen a society improve or expand under this type of fear. And we're going to continue to resist, and we're going to do it in many different ways, whether it's taken to the streets or to the courts or policy. One of the things that I am very proud of is that we are a welcoming city, which means our local law enforcement do not dub or behave as federal ICE agents. And so our local law enforcement, as we continue to rebuild and expand trust amongst all of our residents, it's important that we hold that line.
Now, Donald Trump, on his 79th birthday, no less, has flexed the United States military muscle on the streets of Washington, D.C. with a parade to celebrate the US Army's 250th anniversary. Now, he had this idea during his first term, apparently, so he's finally managed to pull it off. And the president praised US soldiers who've served and issued a message about the hope for the future of America.
America stands tall, America stands proud, and America stands free. We're the hottest country in the world right now, and our country will soon be greater and stronger than ever before.
But while that celebration of the US was going on the other side of the country in Los Angeles, you had more of this rioting that we've seen all week. This time there have been protests across the country under the banner of No Kings, which is apparently meant to mean that no one is above the law. I don't know, they think Donald Trump is going to make himself the king or something. Would be a strange thing for a Republican to do, but never mind, logic doesn't come into these matters. Sky News First Edition host Pete Stefanovic was there as the LAPD attempted to force crowds from the city streets.
Well, the police have given protesters fair warning that they would move on them by launching tear gas. They've launched flash bombs and flash grenades as well to try and disperse the crowds.
Keller, it's been a terribly unedifying scene in the United States this week, all because the president decided that he would, I don't know, apply the law?
Not only did he decide that, he decided this about a year ago, and he said it again and again and again on the campaign trail. So all the way through the campaign, he said, I'm going to close the southern border, stop the illegal immigrants, and I will deport the ones who are here. And most of America said, yeah, we'll vote for that. So this is democracy, in a sense. Now, we mustn't get this out of proportion. There are good pictures coming out of the demonstrations, protests, riots, call them what you will. And because there are good pictures, they get lots of coverage on television. I worked out years ago when I was working in television news, you only needed two things, bad news and good pictures. And this is it, bad news and good pictures. So it gets covered a lot. But that doesn't mean it represents America. The word people keep using is divided America. That always creates the mental image, oh, there's half on this side and half on that side, which is rubbish. There's maybe 10 or 20% who have a Trump derangement problem and hate everything he does and have decided not that they're in favour of illegal immigrants, but they will be now because Trump's against them. And not that they're in favour of burning police cars, but they'll do it now because they want to upset Trump. That's all. The rest of America, 80–90% of America, they would have looked at that military parade, they would have felt proud of being American, really happy with the way the country's going and it's on track. So by all means, keep using the word divided, but it's a tiny sliver on one side and it's the vast majority of Americans on the other.
Well, I wonder, Evelyn, how many of these people at these riots actually care at all about illegal immigrants. I mean, it's basically just an excuse to protest against Donald Trump. And much like Black Lives Matter, it would seem that there is a lot of money being put into this by various forces to encourage civil unrest. And of course, you have Gavin Newsom during the week, the governor of California, saying this is the civil war that Donald Trump wanted. I don't think it's Donald Trump who asked for all of this. I think it's nefarious forces that have taken this as an excuse, ICE going in to deport illegal migrants, as an excuse to create civil unrest that they then try to pin on Donald Trump.
Without doubt. And you know, Kel hit the nail on the head. I think it is a very small portion. I think it's people who are very anti-American. I mean, they hate their own country. I mean, and the irony is that majority of the people who are in these crowds were the perpetrators of getting, you know, the human rights violations cracked down with the law during COVID. So the whole irony is lost on them though. But, you know, they are so starved of oppression over there that they have to invent it and make it up just so that they have a cause. It's their entire identity. It's like that meme that you see on the internet where it's that robot guy and you just put a microchip in his brain of what's the next social justice cause to take, you know, offence with. Because like I said, they literally live in one of the most prosperous nations in the world. They've got nothing to worry themselves about, so they've got to make it up. And you know what, if it's not about them, well, I'll use the, you know, legal deportations as their next cause. It's honestly pathetic, to be honest, but very predictable.